just imagine that we're on Pacific. The beach is out here.
The Bachelorette recap: hometown week ends with devastating elimination. After half a round of eliminations on Monday, it was time for Tayshia to visit hometowns of the 4 remaining men on Tuesday's episode of The Bachelorette, which led to heartbreaking elimination. Due to COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent travel restrictions, the men had to be creative and bring the flavor and feeling for their hometowns to the La Quinta resort. Members of Exodus families who was tested and quarantined according to the show's strict protocols were flown in as well. First up was Midford, Massachusetts native Brandon, who treated Tayshia to a small town carnival and has his young niece Alia tag along. Later, Tayshia met Brandon's older brother Daniel and his sister-in-law Christy, who had some tough questions for the once divorced Brandon, as well as the Bachelorette. After a round robin of conversations, Brandon's family saw a genuine connection and spark between him and Tayshia that earned their approval. Tayshia, addressing the camera afterwards, said she could definitely see herself falling in love with Brandon. Next up was Haddonfield, New Jersey native Zach, who picked up on Tayshia's desire to move to New York City one day and treated her to a glimpse of his old stomping grounds, such as hailing a cab and introducing her to New York-style pizza and bagels. Then, it was up to meet Zach's mother, Beatrice, father, Douglas, and brother Matthew, the latter of whom has toughest questions of Tayshia, including where her relationship with Zach stood compared to the other suitors. When she attempted to dodge the question, he suggested that it was one of the deeper conversations they needed to have with each other. Otherwise, the family was happy with the positive change they saw in Zach. Zach and I argued, she later gushed to camera. Ivan gave Tayshia a taste of his Filipino heritage by teaching her how to make a crepe like pastry called lumpia. Then, it was time for the Bachelorette to meet Ivan's parents, who had questions about what she had learned from her previous failed marriage. Ivan's mother was skeptical as to whether the couple could really be sure about their feelings for each other after dating for such a short time, but agreed to trust her son's judgment. An emotional moment followed when Ivan got a surprise visit from the most influential person in his life, his younger brother Gabriel. Finally, Ben treated Tayshia to their exploring Los Angeles Venice Beach, or at least the closest he could come to recreating it as a resort. The fun ended with some conversations with Ben's sister Marilyn and popular chef Antonia Lofaso, best known for her appearances on shows such as Top Chef and Chopped. Ben happens to be Antonia's personal trainer. It's Antonia's conversation with Ben that leads to a revelation. He is head over heels in love with Tayshia. Unfortunately, Ben's old insecurities would once again get the better of him when he can't get up the nerve to tell Tayshia how he feels. Tayshia sensed Ben was holding back, and he paid for it at the rose ceremony. When she sent him home, Tayshia gave one last chance to speak up after the ceremony, but again, he couldn't find the words. Instead, Ben's journey ended with a long limo ride home, and the thoughts of what might have been. Here's a man going to Fantasy Suites, Brandon 30, a commercial roofer from Milford, Mass Ivan 28, an aeronautical engineer from Dallas, Texas, Zach C, 36, an addiction specialist from Haddonfield, and Jay.
Today I have a hometown with Ivan. It's not even like what do I love about